Hi, if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will have already seen this project that I'm going to show you, which is in the February newsletter, and it's an idea I put together which I thought would make a good gift for Mother's Day to give to either a mother or a grandmother, and it's got a set of birthday cards and envelopes. So I thought if you gave it to a grandmother or a mother, they could then in turn use this to give birthday cards to their family or friends. So the original inspiration for this idea came from looking through some old projects I'd done, and I found this file folder box that was a cutting file from a different cutting machine. So I made the file into a ScanNCut canvas box, but then when I'd made it, it didn't seem to fit this project. So this cutting file for this magazine folder is on my blog on the cutting file page. I'm just using it to store some cards that I've already made at the moment. So then I started looking around the internet for a box. I didn't want to do a box like this one that I'd showed recently with these little gift cards in. I wanted something a bit different. So I searched Google, I searched YouTube and Pinterest, and I came up with this box. Now I can't actually remember where I found this. I think it was from a Stampin' Up lady in America, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to show you today how to make the box. I've already made some of the cards, and I'll just explain about that in a minute. But basically there are 6 cards and 6 matching envelopes. Okay, some of the cards are going to open this way with the envelope, and some of the cards are going to open that way. So there's 3 of each, and I've done most of them. I've just got one last one to do, and I've done the envelope ready. So basically all as I did, I took a piece of A4 card and I cut it right down the middle on the long side, and that gave me 2 pieces of card, which I then folded in half and made these cards from. So if you want to make a set of 6, you need 3 pieces of A4, or if you're in America, letter size. Letter size should still fit in this box. And then you need 6 envelopes to match, which we call C6 envelopes, because this becomes an A6 card in the UK, and this will be a C6 envelope. I'm not sure whether you have the same sizing in your country. So that was how I made the cards. Then I wanted something fairly simple to put on the front. So I was looking through my stamps and I came across this stamp, and it's called Field of Sky, and it's by a Stamp in the Hand, and I've had it years. But any nondescript stamp would do for this, or you could just use a completely different design on the front of your cards. There is a good looking stamp set in the Stampin' Up catalogue, which is online, and this is called the Perpetual Calendar, which looks a really nice kit actually, and I might get this next. But there's a stamp here that would work just as well, stamped 3 times, using the technique that I'm going to show you. So basically I've got some Stampin' Up strawberry slush, and the reason I've done all the others is because these stamp pads are quite juicy and I end up getting covered in ink, and it's you don't want to see me covered in ink. So basically I've just prepared everything and I've got the last one to do. So I'm going to ink up this stamp pad and give it a real good inking up. And then basically all as I did was stamped 3 consecutive times, working across the card. And when the card was that way, I did the same kind of thing, 3 consecutive times on an angle, to give me some space here to put my greeting. The greeting is from the Flower Patch stamp set that you've seen me use before. All the links will be in my blog post if you want to buy any of these things from my online Stampin' Up shop. And this one says happy blooming birthday, and I'm using black, well, it's called Tuxedo Black Memento ink to stamp the greeting, and that's that. So that's the basis of the card. Then I went into the ScanNCut and I cut some flowers that are on the machine, the basic flower that's in the machine, and I cut 18 to put 3 on each card, and I cut them, I'm just trying to find my measurements, see if I've written them down. I cut them at 0.90 for the ones on the front of the card, and I cut 18 of those, and then I cut 3 at 1.25, same flower, for the front of the box. And then I've just used the stylus from the ScanNCut. I've inked around the edge with a sponge and the same strawberry slush ink, and then literally just press them in the middle to give them a bit of bend and turn them over. And I'm going to put a glue dot on those. And then position them just randomly on the front of the card. Like that. Got a glue dot stuck to my finger. Then I took some Stampin' Up gems, and I'm just going to put one in the middle of each flower. Well, I am, if I can keep hold of it, like so. So that's the card, and then you can give the flowers a bit of bend if you want to give them a bit of dimension. So that's the card. Then I stamped the envelope with the same stamp, and that's now the matching 6 set. Now if you stay tuned till the end of the video, I have something to tell you about this stamp set, this gift set as well. So let's move on to the box itself. So for the box you need a piece of card that is 11 by 8 1/4. Now in the UK we have A4 card and it's 11 3/4. So I've chopped the 3/4 piece off to make it 11. And I'm going to use this piece, I've cut this down to 4 1/2, and it's by 3/4, and this is going to go onto the front of the box. So for the box, you need to score your card. On the long side, I don't know if you can see this, on the long side you need to score, I've put my glasses on for this, at 5 1/4 and 7 inches. That's basically the width of your box. Then turn it round and score at 1 3/4 and 6 1/2. And when you've done that, you'll have a short section and a deep section. The short section is your front. So all you need to do now is turn it round and cut up to this score line here, here, here and here. And use a pair of scissors and then just take a little notch out, which just helps for when you're folding. And take it out on this, not on this bit. So in other words, take it out on the flap, not on the actual sides of your card. Turn it round, cut up the score line and take a little notch out. Basically, you're kind of taking away the bit that you scored, the indentation, really. Doesn't need a lot, just helps your box go together. That's that. Then you need to fold and burnish. You could use a bone folder if you want, but it folds fairly easily. I think I've got some red ink on my hand that's gone onto this card, but this is only for the video. So as I said, the short section is the front. So if you're going to decorate it, you need to put your decoration on here. I've got a piece of pattern card. This pattern card measures 4.5 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to use a glue tape to stick it down. And there's just a little border all the way around. So that's going to go on there. That goes on there. And then I think I've just realised that I've not cut my flowers for this front bit, but it doesn't matter, because I'll sort that out in a minute. So basically your box is going to go like that. So what you need to do, you need to fold these centre sections in and put glue on there, and you're going to stick the back first. So I'm going to use my wet glue, a Tombow glue. It's really good glue, this. Again, this is available on my online shop. It just grabs really quickly, which is great. And it's got a fine end or a thicker end. It's just really good glue. So you need to try and do this so you can see it. Bring the back section round and line it up here and just give it a press and hold it for a second and it will grab. And then do the same with this. Line this edge up here, hold it for a few seconds, and again, as I say, it will grab. And then you need to apply adhesive to both of these long flaps. And fold those round, and again just line them up with the edge of the box and hold for a second, and again line that one up and just press and hold, and it grabs really quickly. Now to cut these corners, just to give them a little bit of shape, like here, you need a good long pair of scissors. Start at the front here and just with one chop that off and do the same. If you do it with a good long pair of scissors, you'll get a nice even bit taken off. So that's your box made, and then obviously your cards would go in it. And then it just needs some decoration, which I've forgotten to cut. Okay, so I'm at the machine. I went into pattern and into this section and then to the flowers, and I chose this design here in the bottom right hand corner. It's AR8015, and I selected that and I said OK, and I said OK again. Right, then into here. into this icon, take it down to 0.90, and then I said I wanted 18 and OK, and it brings them on like that. So then I go back into, no, sorry, then I say OK, then I go to here and I just ask them to arrange, and it arranges them for me. And then I cut those and inked the edges. Then once I'd done that, I'm just going to go back home, went back to pattern, back to the same flower, said OK again, set it, then went back into here and changed the size, and this time I asked them to be 1.25. And I said I wanted 3, that they were for the front of the box, and OK, and did the same thing. So to cut all your 18 flowers for your cards and your 3 flowers for the front of your box, you need a piece of card that's around about 6.5 inches square. And once you put all those onto your mat, you can cut those in one go. So just going back to the project, what I'm going to do, I've recently got to 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which I'm still absolutely blown away by. And as a thank you, I'm going to offer this and this, these 2 projects that I've done. This one was done a couple of months ago, and this is obviously the one that's in the February newsletter. I'm going to offer these if anybody wants to have the chance of having them. So all I would like you to do, please, if possible, is if you would just hit the like button. This video will go up on Sunday the 8th of February. I'll leave the post open for a complete week, and at the end of a week I will, depending on how many names there are, I will draw 2. And as I say, the first one will get this and the second one will get this. And it's just as a thank you for everybody that has taken the time to follow me on my blog and subscribe to me on YouTube. So thanks once again. I hope you found this helpful. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.